I'm like a person running off emotions. If his mother was in the hospital, I'd sell my house in a heartbeat, even though he only makes $1,000 a month.
You lost it, dumbass!
I have another house right there.
Togi is just so young and so mature and so lucky that it hasn't affected him to this point because he continues to make more money. The problem is, if people listen to Togi and take his advice, they could easily destroy their careers, their finances. They could piss it all away.
This is a brain rot special.
Tia Matic cooking in the basement.
The gambling has given me the most wonderful experiences, and I've met my best friends, the best memories.
And so here's the problem. For Togi, gambling has made him a shit ton of money. Not from the gambling itself. Most certainly, I believe he's lost more money than he's made. But casinos are paying him to gamble. They're sponsoring him. His salary is based on him gambling. He needs to gamble in order to make money. That is his career. How many of you think that if you follow in the footsteps of Togi that you're also going to get paid, that you're going to be the next multi-millionaire from gambling? Perhaps what, 1 in a million? And so there's a chance, but there's also a chance that you're going to go to the casino and win $1 million. Maybe that'll be you. But the other 900,000 plus are going to lose more money than they make. And so is it really worth it? I don't think so.
In some cases, the country club pays you. You land in Vegas. Vegas will get you a private jet, the nicest room. You get a massage at the table.
If Vegas is buying you a private jet, if they're paying for your room, for private sexy time massages, whatever, you best be knowing that you're paying for it in a different way. Now with Togi, perhaps it's with advertisements, but if you have made so much money that they're giving you free rooms, free food, free women to massage you, you're losing money and they want you to go back, and that's why you're getting everything for free.
I'm not saying gambling's not fun, but you're saying what's immoral about it. There are issues.
So do you think like drinking alcohol on camera would be immoral?
Yeah, exactly. Drinking alcohol, which is poison, and if you were to promote that, it's not good. It's the same as gambling. Now, I'm not judging people for drinking. I drank for over 30 years. I quit 15 months ago, but it's not a good activity. It's not good for anyone. It's not proper. It's not something you should aspire to. It's not something you should promote. It's not like doing cardio or going to the gym or lifting weights. Those would be considered healthy. And of course, if you want to have some extra motivation on your health journey, get the Turk Builder Max and Geo2 Max. You can have extra energy, build more muscle, do more cardio, recover faster, gonna feel better, gonna have extra aggression in the gym, and perhaps that's what you need. Now, if you're an 18-year-old, you're a teenager, you don't need to buy any of this stuff. Save your money, not for gambling, just save your money for later, invest it. But if you've been training for years, you've hit a plateau and you need that extra motivation, code Greg, 15% off. And if you're unemployed, code unemployed.
If it was endlessly binge drinking on camera and trying to get your audience to endlessly drink.
I'm glad to see that Caleb and I are on the same page. Togi, promoting gambling isn't good. And just so you understand it, it's very similar to promoting steroids, to promoting drinking alcohol, or to promoting using recreational substances. Perhaps some are legal and some are not, but what you're doing is encouraging a younger audience who's looking up to you to do the same. It would be no different than if I were to say, hey everyone, I've decided to do another bodybuilding competition and I'm going to use test and trend and get huge. The biceps are growing at least 2 inches and follow me on my journey. And I say, hey, it's not the steroids that I want to talk about. It's the experience. When you take steroids, you feel so good. It's so fun. So many of my fondest memories are when I took a shit ton of steroids and went to the gym. Yay! It kind of would be a bad message, and I can imagine if there were parents of kids watching me explain that in a video, that they would say, I don't like my son or daughter to follow this guy. I feel like when they get older, they're going to have regrets. And so when Togi's getting older, he's not going to regret gambling because he's already made it. He's getting paid to gamble. So, hey, if you're watching this right now and you are being paid $500,000 a month to gamble, hey, keep gambling, you made it. But if you are watching this right now and you've never gambled, don't start. You could be the next addict who cannot stop in the future. And even if you're not an addict, Do you really want to be that guy that has to go to the casino every week? Or you always have to bet on every single game? Oh, there's a game this weekend. Oh, I better bet. What are my bets going on? I need the dopamine from the bets. Can't we get dopamine from other things? Going to the gym, lifting weights, riding bikes, going to gatherings with friends. I mean, there's other ways. Togi describes gambling as, it's so fun, my friends. I have funs with friends and I don't gamble. We don't need to gamble. There's other things you can do with friends. You can go on a vacation. You can go on a trip. You can go to the park together. For all I care, go for a walk. You go for coffee. There's so many other things that you can do with friends to bond and have great times, and you don't need to gamble.
But either way, now it's like to understand an experience, you got to like go all the way into it.
Have you done?
See, he says to understand an experience, you got to go all the way into it. You don't need to go all the way and become a drug addict in order to understand the experience. You can read about it and say, yeah, I probably shouldn't experience that. I probably don't need to do that.
If you're so moral now, why'd you just start a supplement company and immediately gamble $250,000 of it without telling your business partners? Is that moral? I feel like that's their money and that's their business.
And so Caleb, he brings up a great point. He's like, yeah, well, what kind of morals do you have? You go and start up a supplement company, you gamble out $250,000 of your company's money. But it's like, Caleb, Togi is the star. Like, even though he's 50-50 partners, it's all Togi. Togi runs the show. If Togi decides to stop, there is no business. There is no company. Togi is the man. And so if he decides, hey, I want to screw up and I want to gamble away the entire company's money, well, he has that right. He's the man that's making it happen. And he believes that by doing this, he'll be even more famous. And so let's say Togi's making $500,000 or $1 million a month right now. In Togi's mind, he's like, well, I've already made it. I've already made enough money. Like, even if I only make 1/10 of this, let's call it $50,000 to $100,000 a month, you don't think he's going to be happy? He doesn't need all this stuff. You think Togi needs the Lamborghini, the sports cars? Togi is like Coach Greg. He doesn't need these things. These are just things he can get because he has money. The only difference between Togi and myself is I'm more like Graham and I spend perhaps 3 or 4% of my money and I save the rest because I don't need the rest. And so it's like I talk with Mepsigram. For me, everything is free. Nothing makes a dent. There is no difference. It doesn't matter. And so Togi, perhaps he has Coach Greg type of money. And so nothing matters because he knows next year he's just going to make more. And the year after that, even more. And by spending all his money right now, gambling it all away, give it all away, it only brings him more eyes, more fans, more followers. And they want to be here for the train wreck of Togi. If Togi made $10 million a month and he gambled away $10 million a month, he would be even more popular. And so the next month, perhaps he makes 15. That is what he's saying. And so by being an idiot, spending $900,000 on a game show to bail out some drug dealers and criminals and armed robbery and so on, and bailing them out, that got him views. It made him more loco, a little crazy. And so the young people, they respect people who are just different, who do the things that they don't dare to do. And so myself, I'm older. I'm not going to bail out a bunch of criminals. I'm not going to sponsor these guys and say, oh yeah, it's not a big deal. Bro broke into a guy's house and stole from that person. And you're going to bail him out in order to make a TV show and people are clapping? Yay! What if that guy broke into your house and somebody bailed that guy out? Would you be happy about that? And so I don't think that's cool. We don't want to support this, but Togi's like 20 years old. I'm 50. I'm older than Togi's father, most likely. And so that is the difference, guys.
The point is, if he took one of my cars, sold it because he had a crazy lock, I would be like, that's okay because he was trying to do something better for us, and that's what friendship is about. There's no amount.
It's wild how Togi talks about his friendships. They can do no wrong. If they take all my money and gamble it, but they thought it was a lock, it's cool, and I lose all my money, it doesn't matter. Imagine if men thought like that. My girlfriend can do whatever she wants. She can take all my money and spend it on whatever she wants. As long as she thought it'd make her happy, it's cool, I don't care. Sometimes you have to be responsible for your money. Togi is just so young and so mature and so lucky that it hasn't affected him to this point because he continues to make more money. The problem is, if people listen to Togi and take his advice, they could easily destroy their careers, their finances. They could piss it all away. See, the problem with Togi is he thinks other people can just do what he does. Oh, look at me, I'm a loser. I have nothing going for me and I made it. Bro is what, 6'2". He was one of the best baseball players in the world at one point, a gifted athlete, and he has a great personality on camera. Not everyone has that. Not everyone is a Togi. And so he's fortunate that he's able to do this, but most people can't just copy Togi. It'll be like me saying, you guys, why aren't you all multi-millionaires? Why don't you just open up a supplement company and yap a lot like Coach Ray? Just play a guy's video and react. Just chat, talk, and make a lot of money. And get yourself an Instagram. I mean, just go on the internet and wait till an eye surgeon DMs you and take her out on a date. Just do that. All while being a 5'6" manlet. Not everyone can do that. And so I realized that you have to be realistic. It's not that easy. And so my advice, it's better for the majority of people. Togi, for the 1 in a millions out there, sure, it's gonna work. But for everyone else, you need to be careful.
I'm like a person running off emotions. If his mother was in the hospital, I'd sell my house in a heartbeat, even though he only makes $1,000 a month.
You lost it, dumbass!
I have another house right there.
It's so interesting. Togi is just so young. Like, oh, but I would take care of all of my employees. I would do anything. Well, if one of your employees gets cancer and it costs millions of dollars to save them, well, what if you just gambled all that money away? Like, Togi, you don't have that money yet. He's saying save some of your money. He's not saying you're a bad person or a bad guy. He's saying that you're not financially responsible. And so far, it's okay for you. You've got a girlfriend for 13 months. You don't have any kids. You say you want maybe max of 4 kids. A year ago, you wanted 30 with multiple females.
My sleep schedule's fixed. Guess what time it is? You would never guess what time it is. No lie. After I ate those tacos, I took a nap.
And so your ideas, they go back and forth. Once a month, you have a great idea, and that's about it. And so what happens when you change? When your life goes in a different direction? When you have to pivot? What if one of your employees, they cannot work for you anymore? They can't travel, something happens, they get married, they have kids, and they're like, Togi, man, if I only would have had that medical insurance, you're gonna be able to pay all that money? But what if you don't? What if you grow your company and now you have 100 employees? What if something happens and you can't take care of these people?
Sure, I spend crazy. If it ever hit the fan, I bring in $1 million a month, easy.
For now.
A month?
1.9 a quarter is not $1 million a month.
Well, okay, now we're at $1 million a month.
And so he says, I have to update, I'm bringing in $1 million a month. And so perhaps it was $633,000 a month, but with certain bonuses, sponsors, perhaps other companies, whatever, it's more like $1 million a month. But remember, there are a lot of expenses. For example, when you sell $1 million a month worth of supplements, do you really think you make it $1 million? Perhaps you spend $500,000 on advertisements, sponsored athletes, and so on. Perhaps you spend $350,000 on the products. And so you only have $150,000 left. And so your sales are $1 million a month, but you're only profiting $150,000. And so just because you're making $1 million a month doesn't mean you're keeping it. And so what really matters at the end of the day is how much profit do you have? And if you're not investing it and you're just spending it all, then perhaps 10 years from now, you're gonna have some regrets. If Togi just put in $1 million away right now, in 10 years from now, perhaps if he invested it correctly, he would have $3 million. But if he doesn't, 10 years from now, perhaps he needs this money and he has nothing. $1 million saved right now may in fact be enough to set him up for the rest of his life. But rather than that, I'd rather do a coin flip for my house.
If I win this, I'm gonna be very, very excited, and I don't wanna see you lose $1.9 million, but it's just an apology in advance. The cheers from me are...
I'm sorry if I win this too.
Heads.
Oh my God.
My best friend owns half of it, right?
Half of what?
The business! Ivor, right? So he
Is that your business?
Yeah, 50-50.
And so remember, he only owns 50% of the business. So as much money as he's making, let's say he's making $500,000 a month, which is a lot. It's amazing. And profit I'm talking about. His business partner, Igor, I'm not sure if it's Igor or not, whatever. He's getting half. And so already it's a lot lower.
So it doesn't matter if it's YouTube. I could go over and become Mr. Olympia, and I could be the best bodybuilder in the world. I could go to the moon if I wanted to, and then I'm gonna get rich. You know what I mean?
Objectively, no. How are you going to the moon?
It's okay to be optimistic, but there's a difference between optimism and delusion. To say I could be the Mr. Olympia champion, I can go on the moon, I can be the president of the United States, it's like, can you really? When you say it's possible, you need more than a 1 in a quintillion chance. Yeah, you could do these things. It's possible. It's possible that I could become the president of Colombia, but not likely. And so to just say, oh, I could be on the moon, I could do this, it's not helpful for you. You have to have realistic probabilities of being able to do what you're going to go for.
I live on Mars. I can do anything and I will do everything. I could be in the NBA if I wanted to in 5 years.
The NBA, live on Mars. I mean, does this sound like a guy that makes sense? And so because of his opportunities, because of his successes as of late, he has an overvalued sense of self. He thinks he can do anything, but he does have limitations.
I don't even think you're a millionaire now. The savings I have here is $391,000 total.
Oh yeah, dude. But
plus $100,000 of debt.
Pepe Holdings.
He's like, bro, you're not even a millionaire now. And I'm thinking, well, he does own a lot of vehicles, and so his net worth would include the money that's put into his vehicles. But those are depreciating assets. Would it not make more sense to have a home? But he had a home and gambled it all away. But see, Togi's shtick or his scheme is that he has to be a degenerate. He has to gamble all his money away. And so the more moronic, the more of the opposite of what he does, of what he should do, the better. And so you can't blame him. Guys, this video is 1 hour and 46 minutes long. I watched it on the flight home from Uzbekistan last night. Actually, it was Turkey, but you get the point. And so go and watch the video. Caleb, highly entertaining. Go and check out Togi. Just don't follow in his footsteps. Don't gamble like him. Don't use recreational drugs. Don't abuse steroids. And if you're interested in getting sponsored by myself, click the link. If you want to get any of the supplements, the Turk, the GO2 Max, the list goes on. You know what to do. As well, if you want to get coached by myself and my team, you click the link. And if you want to get our supplements in your stores and or gym, click the link. And until next time, I am out.